Welcome back, True Seeker. Another Globetrotter moment last night in the NBA, as I so often bring up the Harlem Globetrotters do not miss from beyond half court. And if that is so, and it is so, then why aren't they in the NBA smoking every team in the league? Steph Curry said to be the greatest shooter ever. He can't make every shot from beyond half court. So what's going on? Could there be some kind of intervention in the game? Could there be some kind of rigging? Could there be some kind of script? Could there be some kind of technology in use to ensure outcomes and make sure certain shots go in, especially trick shots from beyond half court? Let me start off by saying congrats to the winners. We had another flamethrower of a day in the NBA, solid day in the NHL, another winning day. We won't talk about Monday. Monday was bad, but the weekend was great. We have a lot more great days than not. And if you were in yesterday's live stream on Patreon, again, if you want this information before the games, the first player we started talking about yesterday in player prompts, long before any games were played, was Max Strus. And then Max Strus ended up being the storyline of the day. And I can't tell you how often that happens in our community. But we also love the Cavs to win a lot. Very familiar pattern in Cleveland that went down. You just can't doubt that 33 in Cleveland. You can't doubt the 38 versus the Mavs. And again, the person who suffers from cognitive dissonance will be like, you're lucky you got the game right because they had to hit a half-court shot to do it. Yeah, that was the script. Max Struss was part of it. And look at what it was, a 59-foot buzzer beater. What's buzzer beater equal in Gematria? Oh, 59. What is 59? Oh, it's the 17th prime. What's Ohio? Oh, yeah, it's the 17th state. Again, all of these sports are credited to Freemasonry. What's Freemasonry equal in Gematria? 59. 59 is the 17th prime. Modern Freemasonry made in the year 1717, like the word Mason is 17. What are they always saying at Cavs games? Write down Euclid. Write down Euclid. Oh, that's funny because the Freemasons study Euclid. The 47th problem of Euclid is very important to the Masons. There's only two states that equal 47 in the most simple cipher, and one of them is Ohio, where Cleveland is. But yeah, the 59-foot buzzer beater. And did anyone pull out the tape measure? I want to know if it was even really 59 feet. I've seen them fudge the numbers before, and so have you if you've been paying attention. But yeah, we liked Max Struss last night for all kinds of reasons. He wears a number 1 on his jersey. The date numerology was 1. Shout out to the people in the community who are on Patreon to contribute. Great calls yesterday. One gentleman said, look, if he has 3 assists, he'll have 216 for his career in Cleveland, the 216. Well, he hit that. He hit that player prop. Not only did he get 3 assists, he ended up getting 4. He went past the number, which is just fine. You just needed him to go above his season average, which was 3. That's where the player prop was. We noticed if he had a block, he'd get his 58th block. That was a nice little player prop. He ended up getting 2 blocks, which is just fine. Could have got his 58th block on the 58th day of the year. He did, and then he got his 59th as well. Funny enough, Max Struss now has 59 blocks on the year to go with this 59-foot buzzer beater. And, he exceeded all of his season averages. And you pay attention. Day after day, the date numerology and the players who wear the jersey numbers that correspond with the date numerology, day after day, they're making the headlines. They're making the storylines. And again, doesn't it all make sense? Freemasonry, they etch on the temple, all is number. The American sports, all credited to Freemasons. In the case of basketball, it's Naismith. In the course of baseball, it's Abner Doubleday. In the course of football, it's Walter Camp. So anyhow, the 59-foot buzzer beater. And the only real disappointment we had yesterday in basketball is we didn't get our triple-double. We thought either Luka came up one stat shy of a triple-double. Normally on 58 dates, there's a triple-double because triple-double is 58. We thought Luka or Giannis would get it. That was our really only disappointment yesterday. And going for those things are big payouts. And it's about the only thing that we couldn't write home about. But notice, again, Mavs, Cavs. This was the storyline game because of the Globetrotters shot. Right here, Cavs can pick up the 38th win. They did. Mavericks is 38 and the most peer. Cavs can stay on 19 losses going with the date numerology. Mavs can stay on 33 wins. That's a big number in Cleveland. Again, Cleveland equals 33. Masonry equals 33. The Masons study the 47th problem of Euclid. The announcer at the Cavs game always saying, write down Euclid, because that's the street there in Cleveland. And again, that's the beauty of understanding this knowledge. You just see who's running the show, why they're always saying they couldn't script it any better. And this is a perfect script, just like how we just had a nice one in NASCAR and the Super Bowl. Remember the weather, which has been under control since the 50s. You know, they purposely rain out Daytona to put it on the 40th anniversary of Hendricks Motorsports. And then the Hendricks cars finished first and second. And the guy comes out for Hendricks Motorsports and says, they couldn't have scripted it any better. And all the morons are like, you can't control the weather. It's like, did you just watch the Olympics in China? They literally said they were using weather modification to create the conditions for the Winter Olympics. The only Super Bowl halftime show that had rain was with Prince with Purple Rain. And that was on February 4th, like how rain equals 24, like how the 24 car won the Daytona 500 for Hendrick Motorsports. And a lot of people in our community won a lot of money because we said that would be one of the best narratives if they rained out the race. Okay. Nets and Magic, you know, 19 date numerology, which does break down to one. Like we just said, it was a one date. It was also a 19, but 19 is one in numerology. Notice how all the 19s lined up for the Nets to lose. They got the 19th road loss, 19th loss versus the East. Magic got the 19th home win. Boom. Magic also got the 23rd win versus the East, where Nets is 23. And again, we weigh out the scale. So like a moron will come through and be like, well, Zach said or. It's like, yeah, I did say or, but what's the better narrative here? Again, we put the better narrative at the top. So 4 things to 1. Again, short bus riders need not apply. But Zach said or. Yeah, but what's on top and what has way more narrative? Okay, the Cavs do. And just like I said right here, 33 is consistent in Cleveland because it is. We've been banking on it for a decade, proving our point for over a decade now. Warriors and Wizards. Again, top narrative here. Warriors, a great number with the Warriors is 49. Warriors equals 49. Wizards get the 49th loss versus the Warriors. And they do it on 227 when 227 is the 49th prime. Boom. Jazz and Hawks. Jazz and Hawks. Jazz can pick up the 32nd loss. Atlanta has a double connection to 32. Atlanta Hawks equals 32 in the big way, 131, which is the 32nd prime. Great number with that team. There was a lot more narrative to it as well, but boom, 32, just very consistent number. Learn the knowledge, take advantage. Does that mean 32 hits every time in a Hawks game? Nope. Sometimes it misses and you got a little frown on your face, but you know what? It hits the vast majority of times, so you normally don't have a frown on your face. 76ers and Celtics. Well, here, Celtics were a huge favorite, so the only way they have value with the win is if they cover the spread. What do the notes say? If Celtics cover spread, 76ers will fall to 32 and 26 against the spread. Boston 32, Celtics 26. Did the Celtics cover the 12.5-point spread? Hey, let's take a look if they did. I always see my trolls in the comments always writing all this false shit. Gematria doesn't help you with spreads. Oh, weird, because the Celtics won by 18, covering the spread. Okay. Disregard trolls. Sign up for the Patreon. You'll be forever grateful. Pelicans and Knicks. Now, this game, we were on the wrong side of. We weren't on the wrong side of many games. You could see that the narrative was very evenly stacked. So, I mean, it could have also been a game to stay away from. And we did talk about how this game was very iffy. But this was the game that was the most wrong yesterday. And Pelicans did prevail versus the Knicks. I was hoping the Pelicans would stay on 34 because they play Indiana next, and Indiana does like that 34. But this is also why we teach over here. Have fun with the knowledge, use the knowledge, win a lot more often than not, but never bet the house because occasionally good narratives fall apart. This wasn't a good narrative, though. This was a tight game, mostly banking on hoping they would stay on 34 before Indiana. Spurs and Timberwolves. There was no narrative for the Spurs to win this game. There wasn't a clear narrative for the against the spread, but of course the T-Wolves did have the numbers to win. They got their 41st win and their 21st home win. San Antonio's 41, Spurs is 21. Very consistent numbers with that team. And again, for the person like, but you're using 4 ciphers. Again, if you're that short bus rider, again, you want to use 4 ciphers because they're the 4 ciphers that are part of the rig. San Antonio's 41, which hit in the game, and the 148 also hit, just like how last night the Wolves coach got his 148th win. You see how that works? They get the 41st win of the season. Coach gets the 148th win, and short bus rider goes, and not to mention they did it on the 58th day of the year versus San Antonio, but the short bus rider goes, but you're using more than one cipher. Okay, back on the short bus. Not enough IQ points to play here. The Pistons and the Bulls. This was our game of the night. 49. I've preached about it for years. 49 in Bulls games is so damn good. It's so good. And last night it was a 10.5-point dog. Stayed on 49 losses versus the Chicago Bulls. And, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So, nice little payout there. That's how you pad the pockets. And the Hornets and the Bucks game. In this one, looking ahead, if the Bucks win both, they're gonna have they play each other back to back. The NBA started doing this, having the teams play each other back to back. But if they win both, they'll be on 39. Number plays all time with Charlotte. And by the way, the Hornets have been just our best team this year because they've hit on so many huge payout upsets by the numbers. We didn't get our triple double in that game, unfortunately. Let's see. The Rockets and the Thunder. Thunder, pretty big favorite here. And the only way they had value is if they covered the spread. We noticed if they covered the spread, they do it for the 37th time on the season. You had the 37 date numerology, and they did cover that spread. They were a 9.5-point favorite, and they won by 17. So, again, the 99 and 90 could play for the Thunder yesterday in their favor, and it did. Again, this is the understanding that, yes, gematria is based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards. Hard work, hard research is what figured this out, thanks to yours truly. And haters can hate all they want and leave dumb comments over and over, and trolls can cut up and chop up videos all they want. Again, if you want to listen to, by the way, if you guys aren't on GematriaEffectNews 25, my favorite troll, he did a video yesterday. It's the one with his handsome face on the screen, old Lispy. You can tune into that too. We're providing the comedy. We're providing the fat pockets. We're providing the daily knowledge. And why are there only a few thousand customers on my Patreon? Because there's only probably a few thousand worthy individuals living on this whole earth. The rest of them are fucking retards, short bus riders. And if that's not you and you're not on the Patreon, then you better get on the Patreon, because the only people who aren't on there, like I just said, are short bus riders. And don't get butthurt about it, because it's nothing but facts. Now, the Heat and the Blazers. I want you to see what was up at the top of the notes yesterday. Let's see what it said. It said there are 11 games in the NBA today. The last game is Heat versus Oregon, playing the Blazers in Oregon. Oregon's the only state that equals 74 with the most simple cipher. Heat also has the 74 connection. Again, out of the 50 states, only one equals 74 in the most simple cipher using the alphabetic order. That's the 33rd state, where the 33 and 74 come together a lot. Heat 74, and you run it in reverse. Look what happened. Look what we said. Could home or away teams end up 7-4 by the conclusion of that game? Again, this is seeing how the whole league is scripted together. They do this with the NFL. They do this with all sports, baseball. You pay attention. You watch the big script. So let's see how it ended up. The Cavs won. They were at home, right? So home teams 1-0 there. Magic won. That's 2-0. Wizards lost. That's 2-1. Hawks won. That's 3-1. Celtics won. That's 4-1. Knicks lost. That's 4-2. Timberwolves won. That's 5-2. Funny enough, Minnesota equals 52, like they hosted Super Bowl 52. The Bulls lost at home, so it made home teams 5-3. Bucks won to make home teams 6-3. Thunder won to make home teams 7-3. Blazers lost to make home teams 7-4. And see how the Blazers could have got the 16th win, or they could have got the 20th home loss. That's where things can get tricky, because Heat is 16-20. And more often than not, the 16 plays over the 20, but we're talking about the Blazers, who are bottom dwellers this year, one of the worst teams in the league. Would have been nice to get that Blazers upset, but again, we were speculating on if it could happen. But look, using that league-wide thing, it was the last game still going. You can use the real-time knowledge to take advantage of the script. And, again, just a big smash. And in hockey, it was a great day as well. Every strong narrative in the NHL we had yesterday came through. And again, just like, following consistent patterns too. Once you lock into a pattern, Here was a good one yesterday, a real good one. Well, this was a good one because you had 19 date numerology and Sabres equals 19. Panthers get their 19th home win. But hold on, there was a game with better value. The Avalanche. So Stars equals 77. The Avalanche get their 77th points of the season. And we just saw that a couple days ago. Another team just picked up the 77th points of the season versus the Stars. Again, when you see numbers hitting in a game and then the same numbers are on the board just a day or two later, again, usually it's like, okay, we just saw that pattern and it'll keep rolling. Again, from the NHL to the NBA, it's all scripted the same way. And again, if you're not on the Patreon, $5 a month gets you all of the written content every single day, which is literally hours of work every single day provided at your fingertips. And then when you get all that information, if you want to take the decode further, within minutes, you can, invest a little bit more time because you've got pretty much all the work done for you. There might be a few more things that come across your mind. Oh, I want to check this real quick. Oh, that's my favorite team. I know this guy wears number 1 or 19 on my team. Let me check out lines up with him. Again, it's like every single day you're getting hours of work done for you. Mostly winning knowledge day after day for $5 a month. What's that add up to? Sports gambling services that don't do a fraction as well as we do charge $100 a week. Why do I charge $5 a month? Because I'm not a greedy person. The same reason I did it for 5 years for free and helped a lot of people change their life. Again, I want people to access the knowledge. And it's not just about padding your pockets. It's about waking up to how rigged and scripted these games are. My vision is not just that everybody gets further ahead. It's that everyone stops going to these leagues that are rigged, scripted, emotionally manipulating their fans, their cities, ritually sacrificing players season after season, as we so often document. And again, we did up the tier if you want to be in the daily live streams. That's the $11 tier a month, which still works out to cents a day, which is the value of a lifetime. And again, thank you to everyone who does support the work. The link is in the description of every video, patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. And that said, I'm going to hop over on GematriaEffectNews 25 because all the other channels have been deleted. And we're going to talk about the latest royal family 56 ritual. Remember last year on May 6th, King Charles was getting coronated when the last king died at age 56. And royal family equals 56. And Kentucky Derby equals 56. And it was going that day. And the two favored horses were in posts 5 and 6. Todd Pletcher's horses, 5 and 6 at the Kentucky Derby 56. When Kentucky Derby again equals 56. And then in the NBA, you had LeBron, King James going against Steph Curry. And remember, in history, the son of King James was King Charles. And Stephen means crown, or Stephen means crown. And they usually have those guys going against each other on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But remember the huge 56 ritual in the NBA on the day of the coronation of King Charles. Royal family equals 56. Coronation 56. LA Lakers 56. Go back and look. D'Angelo Russell, who went to Kentucky, got his 56th win with the Lakers that day. It was 56 days after Anthony Davis's birthday, and LeBron became 5 and 6 at home versus Steph Curry in the playoffs. All that 56, all those Kentucky connections, the day of the Kentucky Derby, and like I've been telling you for years, they're literally farming human beings like thoroughbred horses. I mean, does Anthony Davis not look like some kind of mutant? The brow, it's like, that was the one thing that went wrong in the development. They're like, holy shit, his eyebrows just won. But yeah, this latest royal family thing, dead on the 56th day of the year in a big 56 ritual synced with King Charles. And the last king of England died at age 56. Princess Di dead in a big 56 ritual. So anyway, we're going to go cover just how 56 it is and everything else about it. And again, this knowledge, there's nothing like it. Shows just how rigged the game is, from royal family sacrifices to how rigged your sports game is and how the NBA is no different than the Globetrotters. So, again, if you're not on the Patreon and you're a sports fan and you're a sports gambler, like literally, just go hop on the short bus because that's where you belong. Okay? Gambling without this knowledge, total short bus mistake. Until next time, True Seeker.